Hello and welcome back to PowerWash Simulator. When we last left off, we were coming up on the end of cleaning the pelican. And I was thinking uh, about being able to find those last little bits because looking, uh, there is a bit of cabin trim. Huh. Um, yeah, okay. Uh, there we go. I just wanted to knock that out because we've got a lot done. And the last thing I want is to kind of be stuck cleaning those last little fiddly bits. Come on. Come on. There we go. I ended up asking the question of the day really late last episode. So, actually, what I think I'm going to do, the fairhead's clean, that's the gun whale, is we're gonna pull that up. We're gonna pull up our questions and ask the question of the day. What is your favorite drink? I, myself, am quite partial to tea. But I also like iced coffee, so long as it's decaf. Because I can't have caffeine like that. I enjoy my heartbeat staying in my chest, thank you very much. And it's not that it, like, makes me hyper or anything. Caffeine actually doesn't do anything for me, but what it does do is it makes me really anxious. And it spikes my heart rate. Um, so I'm an anxious, jittery mess, and I'm just as sleepy as I was before I drank the coffee. Um, which, probably why I never actively turned to drinking coffee. And I know tea has caffeine in it too, but the amount of caffeine in a cup of tea, if I'm remembering correctly, is actually quite a bit lower. Warning, look out for anchors. Failure may result in injury. The captain is not responsible for any more anchor related I have so many questions, and I'm not getting any of them answered. What do you mean the captain isn't responsible for any more anchor incidents? Why have there been multiple anchor incidents? What? That's all of the questions in the world. And alright, there we go. This gun wheel is already clean. So all we have to do is clean the deck wall and the trim. And I think, given the circumstances, given where we are, we are definitely going to get into the next bit in relatively short order. I also recognize that I'm going to have to come up with more questions. There we go. Okay. So this is the bow. We'll do the stairs up, and then we'll do the bow. And then we'll do the stairs down, of course. So it took a little longer than I wanted it to, but what? Um, hello? Can I... Oh, okay. I had a feeling that's what it was gonna be. So we have another structure to go to after this, and I think it's another structure in the desert. But, yeah, I decided to continue recording, despite the fact that I normally would have stopped by now. I hit my 2 episodes for today, and everything else is just extra, which is helpful. It knocks things down and means that I can get stuff started for other videos sooner, to get things pushed out sooner, get things scheduled sooner. Because I try very hard to stay ahead of myself. It doesn't always happen, but I do try. There we go. There we go. And now we do the deck. I think we're gonna switch to the 25 for this. Get a little more weed. I said I wanted to do the deck last, and that's what we're doing. But, it is October, and that invariably means that we are in the middle of pumpkin spice latte season, which I've had. They're okay. They're not something I would... If I was handed one, so long as it was decaf, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't turn it down, but, like, if it was my choice to order, I wouldn't go for one. And I try not to, you know, be the kind of person that goes, oh, well, pumpkin spice lattes are basic. Yeah, so what? People have their fun. They're not hurting anybody. They're not hurting anything. They're not causing problems. Let people have fun. Like, the world's on fire. Nobody has any money. Let people have the one little bit of joy that they can. So I've stopped with the whole basic thing. Like, not that big a deal, you know? I just know, though, that, you know, you have people who are, like, gung-ho to call things basic and are the ones who secretly enjoy those things. Kind of like cringe culture. Like, why do we care? We, like, why does it matter if something's cringe? No. If you're not hurting anybody, and you're not hurting anything, and you're not causing problems, don't don't let, you know, people looking at you like, oh, that's cringe. That's cringy. So what? Enjoy things. You're allowed to. Uh, you know what I mean? Like, be the cringe. Be cringy. Wear that outfit. Drink that coffee. Have that dessert. Take pictures and post them on of your meals and post them on Instagram. There we go. And you, hey, hello, friend, can you come and watch? Yep. So we're watching the RV again. I think that's what we're doing this time. Okay. Oh, no. That is exactly what we're doing. Okay. Uh, that's not an RV. Omnidirectional landing. Apologies for the deception, and relax. This isn't an alien invasion or anything weird like that. Cerulean sky. We're simply time-traveling scientists from the year 2278. Okay. I'm gonna be completely honest. The name Cerulean Sky sounds like a non-binary name. And I mean that with all sincerity in the world. It sounds like something that a non-binary person would name themselves. That's no hate, given the circumstances. There we go. I think I need put that there. There we go. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. But yeah, no, Cerulean Sky sounds like something a non-binary person would name themselves, and I, being non-binary myself, can say that with great authority. I'm not judging. I am simply making an observation. Because honestly, like, the joke about non-binary people and the names that we tend to choose for ourselves is like, it's fun because it's like there's truth to it, but it's not like hurtful. So I think a lot of non-binary people are willing to let that sort of thing slide because, like, the jokes aren't hurtful. They're just, yeah, you totally see somebody naming themselves cerulean. And you kind of laugh and joke about it because it's silly. It feeding into that goofy little notion of, oh yeah, non-binary people have decided that traditional traditional names are for the bees and act accordingly. Uh, hmm, I'm not getting the ding. What am I missing? What am I missing? Oh, okay. That, you. One more. So thinking. So I mentioned in the last episode uh, about N.K. Jemisin and her work. Um, Somebody else's work that I actually really like is T. Kingfisher, who is that is the pen name of uh, Ursula Vernon. If you've not read her work, her T. Kingfisher stuff is actually for adults. Her stuff under her name is typically, except for her webcomic Digger, is children's stuff. So if you're not interested in, like kid stuff, it may be a good idea to give her primary body of work a miss. But if you're interested in like fantasy, I definitely recommend giving her stuff under her pen name T. Kingfisher a read. Um, it's actually really good. It tends to be really good, and like I know stuff can not be people's cup of tea, but I'm always kind of sad to hear when somebody doesn't like an author that I like, and not like you should be liking this author, but like, I wonder what about that person's writing you're not clicking with. It's like it happens. I'm not bad. Uh, you know what I mean? And then like you could actually answer me. like right now. But yeah, I'm always really bummed to hear that somebody doesn't like an author that I like, or didn't connect with the work of an author I like. I won't say, like, oh no, how dare you not like this author? It's just kind of, oh, well, it sucks. Someone hit us using technology that even we are unfamiliar with, disabling our entire systems with a strange substance and forcing us to crash land. That's until our vehicle is completely clean, we're stuck here. Also, it could do with a wash anyway. Yeah, it's kind of filthy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now we can get on with the rest of the bottom. We are absolutely not moving upward until we're done down here. And I want to get everything down here before we move on. There we go. And it's important that we get everything, because there are nooks and crannies that are actually a pain to deal with. There we go. Actually thinking of doing some reading after I'm done. There we go. But I don't know what I'm quite in the mood for, honestly. There we go. Get out of the way of the landing gear. Got a few more panels down here to go. Yeah. Part of me kind of wants to go back to something that I've already read. But I also have a couple of books that I took out. And I would like to finish those. I think that's what I'll try and do. I have them for a little longer. And it might not be a terrible idea to finish those or before I pick anything else up. And thinking about how I read now actually kind of makes me sad. I was a voracious reader as a kid. There we go. Yeah, I was like a voracious reader when I was a kid. And you get a lot of people that are like, well, you know, the reason kids these days don't read is because they're always on their phones. And it's like, no. Like, I didn't get my first smartphone until I was an adult. Like, smartphones weren't. I mean, smartphones have been a thing way longer than a lot of people realize, I think. Um. That's stone, plastic, metal. But yeah, no, like, but I didn't get my first smartphone until like, I don't know, 2000. Hmm? Like 2012 was the first time when I got my first smartphone. What is the hitch here? I don't see it. Which is obnoxious. Let's try this. Yeah, I didn't get my first smartphone until like 2012. Oh, the first iPhone came out in like 06, 07. I didn't get my first iPhone. I say that like I've had like 5 of them. I didn't get my first iPhone until 2017. There we go. Okay. And like my ability to read tanked before I got my first smartphone. And honestly, I think like various factors have come into play. But I know for a fact part of the issue is nobody likes to be forced to read. And I'm not saying that the stuff that gets assigned in English class here in the States is necessarily bad, but a lot of it's really dry. And the last thing you want to read as a teenager is like The Catcher in the Rye. I have not read The Catcher in the Rye. Everybody keeps saying it's a classic for a reason. I mean, it being a classic doesn't mean it's good. Like, I had to read Lord of the Flies. That's not a good book. That's considered a classic, though. Like, I don't know. Okay. What am I? There. There we go. Yeah, no, like, nobody wants to be forced to read the books that are regarded as classics by English teachers all over America, but are actually objectionably not good books. Like, we came here to solve the historical mystery as to why Mount Rush suddenly became so angry, but then just as suddenly it stopped. Uh, it's not known to you guys yet, but Rushless is the master key for the entire Pacific Ring of volcanoes. When it blows, they all blow. That And the last time that happened, we said goodbye to the dinosaurs. Um, that doesn't bode well. Um, yeah, nobody wants to be forced to read the classics. So, like, teenagers not reading isn't nearly the alarming thing that you think it is. Also, teenagers are absolutely reading. They're just not reading what you think they should be reading. That's all. Oh, you've got to study the classics. No, you don't. If I'd never have to read another quote-unquote classic again, I will be a happy person. I will be a happy camper. Um, here we go. Like, I am an adult. I am not in high school, but if high school is anything like I remember it being when I was there, like 20 years ago, goodness, it actually has been like 20 years. But if high school English class is anything like I remember it being, yeah, no, there's no wonder you can't get kids to read. Like, maybe consider different stuff. And I realize that, teachers have to have a curriculum that they're teaching out of, and as such, like, they're only allowed to like teach certain things. Like, I get that, and I'm not blaming teachers because, like, teachers already have it hard enough as is. Um, like, I don't blame teachers at all for this because I recognize that the district is often responsible for what what y'all are required to teach, what they're allowed to teach. There we go. Um, but when you do have the ability to control what your students read, I think it's important to strike a balance between teaching something profoundly, important to the literary world and not teaching stuff that's so boring that it kills your students' desire to read. Because you absolutely have kids that just don't want to. But, like, fine. Like, there's like no real harm in your, like, it's not great. I'm not gonna lie, but like it's significantly less harmful for your student to not be interested in literature than a lot of people would have you believe. I think that's all for the bottom, I think. Okay. Uh, see if we can't get it from here. No, we cannot. Um, I understand the concern about your students not wanting to read. That. And let me do anything with that. Oh, yeah. There we go. That lower room is good. Okay. Sometimes, in order to finish down, you have to go up. So, now that we're done down there, we can start up here. But yeah, I understand why there is concern that students aren't reading. But I feel like the concern may be in the right, not quite where it's supposed to be pointed at. I feel like if you're actually trying to get students to learn to love reading, maybe try other stuff. We flew close to the volcano in the dead of night, FYI, with just a few lights on. We were spotted and shot down by a jet plane, and now the timeline is all over the place. Our data now suggests that Mount Rushless has passed the point of no return and is going to blow. That is not ideal. And they were shot down by a jet, and we know who that jet belongs to. Even if I don't remember the dude's name. But back to the subject of getting students to read. I think the approach needs to be different, you know? Okay. Yep. 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 Oh. What am I missing? Okay. Looks like I'm missing that, maybe? No? Oh, okay. There we go. Yep. Yep. Okay. Alright, we're good. So we can move on to the next bed. Because, like I said, I want to make sure that we are getting things done in first passes as much as possible. And as I was saying regarding getting students to read, I think a balance needs to be struck. I'm fairly certain I said that. Trying to make sure that you are teaching within the curriculum that you are required to be teaching in. Because I know, like, a lot of places have set curricula, and teachers can't really deviate from it, but I think figuring out a way to teach in that while simultaneously uh, allowing freedom and flexibility is actually really important. I say this like I teach kids. I am not a teacher. Never wanted to be a teacher. Never will be a teacher. Come on. Come on. There we go. There we go. Oh. Yep, there we go. Same like the panels on the bottom. Yeah, that cuts through way better than the, even the last one. There we go. Feel like thinking about what was said about the volcano being being at the point of no return, or past it anyway. There we go. I feel like, given the circumstances, it's probably I feel like maybe the guy with the plane has a fair amount to do with this. Like, we know he's the one that shot them down. What else we know? I don't know. I haven't been paying that much attention, admittedly. By the way, how was our early 21st century parlance? Most of this era's anthropological archives are lost to the Second Martian War of 2145. Ma'am, what? And how nice is red velvet cake? we're defo gonna replicate that long lost recipe if we can manage to get back to the future. Okay. A little stiff, your parlance. There we go. Not the thing I was looking for, but okay. Okay. But we know who shot them down. Like, but we don't know the why behind it. Come on. There we go. So I guess we have to ask the question, why? There we go. That's our warp engine. I think looks like we'll be able to get the whole thing in one video, which is good. But going back to the subject of what's going on in the story, to ultimately kind of drop the discussion of reading and education in the US. We don't know why he shot them down. We actually genuinely don't. All we know is that he did. Beyond that, we got nothing. Come on. Yeah, I think this is... Oh, didn't like that. I guess it's like a question of what did we know and when did we know it? There we go. That's where we were. And of course we have that ore and all over the place. And the question of, did the ore come from the volcano? Did it come from something else? I don't think we really know. There we go. Go. There we go. Ask the question of, yeah, ask a bunch of questions till we're, blue in the face, but unfortunately, I don't think we're ever going to get the answers we're looking for. There we go. There we go. Let's switch to that. I think this is the, yeah. There we go. Dioxide view dome. Where are we? Okay. Is it underneath? Yes, it is. Definitely, it's really hard to see. Yeah, okay. Hmm. Yeah, let's light that up again. There we go. Go back to where we were. In that. We can. And again, this is the importance of making sure that you double check your work. Oh, Wishy, you're not gonna believe what we've discovered. Come quick. Going around in circles, going around in circles, going down, going around. Okay, so that is where we're gonna call it for today. As a reminder for the question of the day, um, what is your favorite drink? That is, yeah, that's the question. So I have been Dorkanaut. This has been PowerWash Simulator. When we come back, we will, you know, get the Lost City Palace. And if you enjoyed this video, or any of the videos in the series, or any of the videos I've ever done, please consider leaving a like on this video and subscribing to the channel, which helps metrics and pushes it out to other people. Consider hitting the notification bell so you know when I upload, even if it is really regular. I also have a coffee. You can find me at coffee.com/dorkanaut. That is ko-fi.com/dorkanaut. If you're so inclined to leave a tip, but please do not feel obligated. But yeah, come see me again sometime, won't you? Goodbye.